About 400,000 people died during the COVID pandemic.
Wow.
This was during Trump's first term. Then he gets into his second term. He cuts diversity, equity, inclusion programs, DEI programs. He cuts Medicaid and SNAP. So after watching 400 people die, he then cuts their health care. This is not just about DEI, this is about DIE. People will die because of policy violence, because of policy murder. So we need to stand up, if anything, to this MAGA, Jim Crow, Esquire problem. Please step up. Tell us your name. I know you got a lot on your mind.
All right, my name is Maurice. I'm from Brooklyn, and I'm gonna pick up right where you left off. What's on my mind right now is the Trump administration and their second term. Under this president, black unemployment is heading back towards where it was during the COVID-19 pandemic. The largest spike being in black women. It's about 6.8 right now. We haven't seen numbers like this at all. Last time somebody gave out the job statistics, he fired them. Of course, the next person that he hired now gave even lower job statistics. So even he has to acknowledge now that it's bad. Okay, recently, the Trump administration attacked a boat of Venezuelans that was coming to this country, right? 11 people, he killed them. The news media is not really talking about it, but it's all over the papers. Okay, why is this a problem? This is a problem because unlike other presidents who have declared war on drugs, right? We know that it's not a real war. This administration is taking it as if they are really at war with the drug dealers. Now, the rules of war are different than regular rules. If they're at war with you, you're an enemy combatant and they can just kill you. So these people don't get to explain, no, you are mistaken, we're not drug dealers. They're dead. He bombed them. Right? We can't just have the president unilaterally deciding to use the military against anybody who comes over here. Because we know he's not a good judge of character at who is and who is not a gang member or a terrorist or whatever it is. If you're Kilmar, a great group, a guy in the union taking people to work, he's going to call you a gang member and say that you're smuggling immigrants. But if you're a bunch of other people who are storming the Capitol, but you have the right complexion for the protection, then he's going to say, okay, you deserve a pardon. You're a hero. All right? So we really have to get out there and vote like democracy depends on it. Because in this instance, democracy actually does depend on it. All right? No justice, no peace.
That was a good one.
That you see is Maurice. He's been at NAN. I don't know how long yet, but he's the power of our audience or our members. Welcome to the show, Maurice. We had a little shaky start here, but usually it goes a little smoother than this. But welcome to the show. I see
Thank you, Matt.
we've got you on today. And what do you think of yourself voicing your...
I like that clip. I liked Ron's comments, and I liked my comments. I forgot all about that one. But if you want me to elaborate further on it, since that happened, actually, President Trump did it again, which shows that I was kind of on the right track here when I was saying that that's the beginning of something bad that started there, right? This is the first time we've had a president unilaterally declaring war on individuals that he's calling cartels. Right now, if there's somebody that we don't want doing that, it's this particular president. Now, he's bombed 2 ships so far without giving Congress or anybody else any kind of evidence that these ships are containing drugs or that these people are cartel members or anything like that. Like, a president cannot actually. It's illegal strikes. First off, a president cannot just attack or declare war on something that he considers a cartel. Because then there's nothing to stop him from doing that here or anywhere else, right? He could go to Manhattan and say, you're a member of a cartel, so let's gun you down and not let anybody else oversee it or overlook it or anything like that. No, there's a difference between law enforcement and the president. And once again, he's heading down a slippery slope. And the problem is that we have a Congress that's kind of controlled by him now, and they're in his pocket. We have a Supreme Court where he elected some of these people, and we have him. There's supposed to be 3 branches where one acts as a check on the other, and none of them is checking the other right now because all of them is kind of influenced by this president. So we have a constitutional crisis, is what we have. And I mean, I don't know how it's going to play out, but one way or another, we just need to take back the House to at least have one check on the right wing faction of our government.
Ron, this is one of your speakers on your show. What's on your mind? I see you and Maurice are in tune. What do you think about your statements there? Are you there, Ron?
I don't see him.
Where'd he go? Did he get cut off?
It's gone.
Graham, introduce
Well,
yourself to Maurice.
yes, we did. We did. How you doing, Maurice?
I'm great.
Your
Right.
assessment was spot on. The critical issue is the fact that the government is not operating. The only person working is Donald Trump, and he's dictating everything from his catbird seat. The Supreme Court is not defending the Constitution or the people of the country. And even today, the Federal Reserve was supposed to, I think they're dropping the interest rate by 1/4 point after his consistent hounding, and he attempted to remove a black woman from the Federal Reserve Board. No, there is no check and balance here. No one's checking him, and the government is tilted. It's not in balance. The Congress is totally dysfunctional. The Senate is in his pocket, and the House is in his pocket. So we need to understand where we are and get a full understanding of what these people are about. It's not about equality. It's not about diversity. It's not about equity. It's not about anything. You have people, you have a moral fiber in this country that has gone down the tube. There is no moral fiber. So those who would legislate, you may have seen the FBI director, Patel, yesterday, very arrogant, obnoxious, and lying in the Senate hearing. That is a man who is eating out of Trump's hand and will do whatever Trump tells him to do. He has no law enforcement background. He was an attorney, but he has no law enforcement background. Attorneys do not know anything about investigations, how to conduct them. Their job is to get the information from the investigator and then prepare for a trial. He does not know how to conduct an investigation, nor can he advise the FBI on how to conduct their investigations. So we got some serious problem. We don't have a Justice Department. You have some woman who, with this Epstein case.
Pam Bondi.
Right, Pam Bondi, she's lying about what she has, what she doesn't have, what she can release, what she can't release. Patel was caught in a lie because they went back and fact-checked and asked the judge about something he said he had. He couldn't release it. The judge said that's not true. He can release everything. So all of these people, we have a government that is full of liars, thieves, or whatever you want to call them. They're in it for themselves. The shooting last week, another example. One thing I would always suggest is that people don't let your mouth take your body someplace it can't get it back from. So we need to be respectful to people, and we can disagree. And this guy, he was not a government official. It was not a political assassination. It was a murder. That's all that was. It was a murder.
You're talking about Kurt?
Was murdered by another right wing extremist that believed that had some of the same ideals as him. The
Right.
guy who killed him is from a Republican background, Republican state, and I mean it's very unfortunate that he got killed, but I think that that's a larger issue regarding gun control that we'll never get since the Republicans let it lapse back in 2004
Hmm.
because the NRA funds most of their campaign. So,
Yeah.
regardless of how bad the problem gets, they always have an incentive to keep as many harmful guns here as possible. In
Hmm.
fact, during this big ugly bill, they actually just gave a tax break for silencers. So somebody like this
What?
now, a shooter in these events, would have a cheaper option of getting silencers to commit crimes like this. So you can't make this stuff up, but it's a big problem in our society. And like you said, most of the people on Trump's team are inexperienced. They are completely unqualified. Like actually, each one of them is probably like the most uniquely unqualified person for each one of the positions that they're holding. Like RFK, if you think of one person who should never be in charge of anything to do with health, it's the vaccine conspiracy guy. Because when you put him in charge, exactly what they predicted would happen is what's happening now. You have him spreading conspiracy theories about measles, something that hasn't been around for how long. You have people hesitating now to take vaccines that they've been taking for years. And oh, guess what? Measles is back and it's killing people. It's claimed 2 lives already in this day and age when measles hasn't killed anybody for 20 years. We virtually eradicated it. But he's so incompetent and inept and bad at the job that they're putting him to do that he's tanking what it is that they told him to do. And in fact, each one of the people that Trump has elected and Trump himself is tanking what it is that they put them in charge of. Kash Patel, like you said, never ran an investigation, completely unqualified to be the FBI guy, and he proved it last time. He put out fake news that saying that somebody's in custody when they're not, just making false claims, and now he has to go do a congressional hearing where he's making a mockery of himself. I
Well,
mean, this is what we're going to see from this administration. And it's
well,
sad that it's combined at a time when they have the House, they have the Senate, and like you said before, the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is also uniquely doing something that they haven't done before. They're trying to dismantle all of the jurisprudence that competent Supreme Court justices have established throughout the years. Like they're slowly ripping apart the fabrics that have held society together for such a long time and paving the way for like companies to dump stuff to make the environment horrible and stuff like that. Like when you listen to the decision that they made with Chevron, there was something called Chevron deference, where companies and everything else like that have to defer to the federal government's definition of what their rules mean. So that you can't, like, if we say this rule means you can't dump oil in this pond or something like that, right? You defer to the federal government's thing. So that's been around for 40 years. This Supreme Court is so right wing because Trump wants companies to be able to dump wherever they want and not have to follow environmental regulations. They got rid of that. And now it's like a free for all. They're trying to dismantle the Voting Rights Act, right? That's, again, everything that Dr. King has fought for. They're piece by piece dismantling it, right? And they've just legalized racial profiling. Like
right.
they're literally interpreting the Constitution in a way that the Constitution cannot support. Like if you say the 14th Amendment was designed to protect against invidious discrimination, right? On its face, that's what the goal of the 14th Amendment is. Then you can't support something that says racial profiling is legal. That would, under a normal Supreme Court, that would have to go through strict scrutiny. So you would have to show that, number one, there's a compelling government interest to do. There is no compelling government interest to racially profile people. And number two, you would have to show that the means that you're using are narrowly tailored to establish to achieve the compelling interest, right? Stopping random Spanish people at Home Depot and just going to places where you think illegals would be, or stopping anybody who looks Spanish, you can find a different way of doing that. So there's, under a normal Supreme Court, there's no way any of these things would fly. That's why I'm just worried about what they're going to continue doing. So long story short, what we need to do at this point is focus on taking back the House. Now, Donald Trump and everybody else got to where they are because they never stopped campaigning. From the time he lost, for 4 years, you saw this guy out like he's still on the campaign trail, just campaigning and campaigning. He's in his base's face. He's building momentum while you're not looking at him. And say what you want about him. That's one of the things that they did correctly. So from now until the midterms, we need to keep that same kind of energy with our base. The people who want to change things and create a check need to be vigilant, and they need to keep momentum until the midterms, because you know that right now they're just working on rigging the election so that our votes will not count as much as his base's votes. So they're trying to gerrymander everything and do what they can. Well, regardless of that, if enough people vote, we can take back the House. And that is the one saving grace that will at least mute some of the power that he's had during this presidency. And we definitely need to do that, because with tariffs, everything, who knows what he's going to do next? I mean, what is he going to just start declaring war on states? With him, nothing is off the table. He's already gotten to a point where he has randomly bombed 2 ships. He used the army to bomb 2 civilian ships coming from a country because he had a problem with their regime, their leaders. He doesn't like what they're doing with regards to America, or he just has an issue with them. So any ships that are coming over here, he's bombing them and claiming that it was drugs. No evidence of it, because once you blow up the ship, how are we going to find the drugs? How are we going to find these people? These could just be regular refugees or immigrants coming over here for a better life. And we have to take his word that, oh, yeah, they were drug dealers and he's doing the right thing. We've seen everybody else that he singled out, and none of the pieces add up, right? This is the guy who's telling us there's no Epstein files when his own AG told him, you're in the Epstein files. There are Epstein files, right? Everything he says, like anything that's negative about him has to be a hoax, right? But everything that's positive about him, or, oh, yeah, that's true, this is what you should believe. I mean, the guy is not credible, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't want him just unilaterally starting to bomb vessels that are on their way over here, because you know whose vessels he's going to be bombing. Anything black and brown is going to get bombed, and anything that's like Africana or coming from some other place is going to be fine and good to go.
How do we
And
get
that's
out of this? How do we get out of this?
We get out of it.
Where's the
by
answer? How to get out of this? We had Trump for 4 years before. He was impeached twice, and again, the Republicans backed him up. We see him here the second time, 34 felony convictions, and he still gets in. He set up the Supreme Court, so it's 6-3, and that was an abomination. All of this has been planned genocide from the day he stepped into office. And the way he got into office was Putin. Putin put him in there the first time. He had a thing against Hillary. And he made Hillary emails be the mainstream of America.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look what she was accused of doing. And because she was a woman, and because she had a president husband, you know, before, she was blamed for everything Clinton did wrong. So hating on Hillary got us Trump with the help of Putin. Now we see today what's happening. He's back in there. Day one, he pardons 1,600 gangsters. Now these gangsters are part of ICE. I'm sure maybe all 1,600 are part of ICE. Now what do we do about it? We know all the wrongs, and we see Sharpton is our answer. He's the only effective black man out there doing something. Now with this Kurt killing, he comes out and say, no reason for us to get happy and wish all our enemies dead. We can't hate like they're trying to get us to hate. We're the spiritual people of the planet. We're the God-fearing people of this planet. So we've got to put ourselves together and believe, righteous Christians. I know that sounds corny, but we've got to pay attention to the hate energy that he's projecting to us. He's trying to poison our minds and our spirits with hate. Now this Kurt incident, that was white on white crime. We had nothing to do with it. We looking the other way, or they're fighting amongst themselves. That's who has to fight amongst themselves. Republicans. We have to stand back and stand righteous and justified in what we're doing and forgive them for all their ignorance. Because it's going to take our love energy to change this whole thing. Now, I found myself hating, and I had to put myself to the side and say, hey, you enjoying this? I mean, that's no enjoyment. Hating and wanting to kill somebody? I mean, whoa. Whoa, his poison's working. We, the loving people, we survived 400 years, 500 years of nonsense, and we still rise to all occasions. We have that faith and energy. And I see all sorts of praises coming all around us. Every day something righteous happens. My great-granddaughter had a huddle the other night, and it made me so proud to see a loving energy. Let me run this piece, and let me show you some of the piece that's happening. Run item 3. I just want to show. Oh, Jalen's supposed to come on.
Jalen is here.
Well, let me run this one first. Let's show Reverend Sharpton at.
I gotta go. I'll join the show again next time, and once we get the technical difficulties together, I'll be able to stay on longer. Okay. But I'm on like a lunch break, so I gotta run. It's been a pleasure.
Good.
Thank you.
Come on, guys. I appreciate you.
Okay, very good.
Take care.
All right. Thank you, Maurice. All right, run item 2.
Himself, steady and ready to take on Goliath, not hoping but knowing that giant will fall. He is the visionary who saw this march before others understood it, the leader who sacrifices carved the path for us to walk, and the prophet of economic justice in our generation. It is my honor to present to you, not just my father, but our leader for this day and time. God's messenger, the truth teller, the soul reacher, the liberation seeker, and truth teacher, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. 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 We won't go back. We won't go back. We won't go back. We won't go back. All right. They said 62 years ago that the dream that Martin Luther King Jr. spoke about was a dream that died in the late 60s. But there were those that kept on fighting. And we went from a balcony in Memphis that killed the dreamer to having a black family on the Truman balcony at the White House. We never stopped dreaming. But now that we have an anti-dreamer, one that wants to cut the tax rate for the rich and have cuts in Medicaid and SNAP pay for it. Why do we come to Wall Street? Since you have benefited from Trump, we come to tell you your benefit days are numbered. We're not going back. You said, well, we have a couple of hundred people. We were blocks long, thousands marched. We marched towards your offices because we know your address. And we're going to march and keep coming to you until we turn the economic inequality in this country around. We're not going back. Let me tell you something. The fact of the matter is the first thing traded on Wall Street was black bodies. The largest 2 ports for slave trade in America was Charleston, South Carolina, and Wall Street, New York. They stood us up right in this area. and sold us like a bar of soap. Sold us like we were some inhuman particle. But we come back the children of our ancestors. We come back ready to vote, ready to spend our dollars. We're not slaves anymore. We're not going back on the slave market. Donald Trump, get ready for the fight of your life.
Jalen, you there?
I'm here.
Ah, Graham, you see that?
I see you.
That's my
I,
baby. Our baby.
yeah,
Hi,
time is
Jalen.
passing.
Did you see that? Did you see that piece? Or you were there?
Yeah, I was there.
What do you think?
Huh?
Tell us about your experience.
Well, my experience overall has been something I wouldn't have imagined, honestly. Um, it's been amazing. I can't really produce words on how I felt, but I just know I feel great, and I'm blessed and honored to be in the position that I am in now.
All this you heard about all these years, and finally you get in the middle of it at the most important time of our history. A march on Wall Street,
Mm-hmm.
and you were in the middle of it all. I enjoyed it. I truly enjoyed it. JT around?
Yes, you right here.
Dude, we at work.
Why don't
How
you send
you
it
guys doing?
horizontal?
All right, it's good.
You know, I saw this young man here with the dreads at the West Indian Day Parade.
Yep.
I made sure I shook his hand. I said, I'm touching living history.
Well, we are all part of history.
That is a fact. That
Every
is a
last
fact.
one of us.
Now, the crazy thing is, the last time I spoke to you, I didn't know that you were. You know, I'm always intriguing when I call him my grandpa. My grandpa tells me stories, and he told me the story how you was on one of the cases. And I don't want to misquote it, but he told me he was on one of the cases when Reb. I don't want to say when Reb got stabbed. Was it when Reb got stabbed? You was on one of
No.
the. What
When
case was that you were talking about, Mr. G?
he was on trial in Poughkeepsie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tawana
Yeah.
Brawley.
Tawana Broly. Yes, exactly. Which
No,
I
I
thought
told
was
him
an
about
amazing.
you were a
piece
detective
of history.
then.
No, I had retired. I was retired at that time. That was in '97. She was raped in '87.
89.
But 89. All right. But the great Alton Maddox agitated Stephen Pagonis to the point where he filed a civil suit. Tawana Brawley never had her trial, never had her day in court. She is not one of these Me Too people because she reported the crime right after it happened. She didn't wait 5 years, 10 years. She reported it right after it happened. And the state worked against her because of the participants in the crime.
Wow.
So, her father lost his job. Her mother lost her job. Her aunt lost her job. Her aunt had even worked for the state of New York. She lost her job. They had to leave Wappinger Falls. But during the trial, it was established, the medical records were open concerning Tawana Brawley's condition. She was rated a 3 out of 10 health-wise when she was recovered by the EMTs. She was near death. Her pupils were fully dilated. You can't fake that unless you have drugs in your system, and she had no drugs in her system. She said that a police officer was involved. She didn't know who he was, but when that officer was murdered, she saw his picture in the paper and said, "That's one of the men that raped me." So he was shot with a weapon he didn't even own. So it's hard for you to kill yourself with a weapon you don't own. He owned a .38. He was shot in the head with a .357 Magnum. And I did the forensic work for Alton in prepping the case, and we were able to establish that that officer was murdered. He did not commit suicide. And when we established that in court, they made a mistake. They gave us a Polaroid photograph of the officer laying in the morgue, and the shot was taken from his feet towards his head, and there was a bullet hole in the center of his jaw. Now, if you were to shoot yourself, you would have to fully cock your elbow to bring the gun here, which means the gun would be right up against your jaw when you pulled the trigger. In that, and this is why study is important, there are certain things we would find in that wound beyond the bullet hole. There would have been a muzzle blast, the flame that comes out, there would have been burnt skin. There are small fragments of the bullet that come off the bullet behind the bullet because they are shavings that come off the bullet as a result of the barreling, the rifling of the barrel. There is a groove. There are grooves in the barrel of the weapon to cause the round to twist, and that gives it greater velocity. Those little flakes of the bullet were not in his skin. There was no gunshot burn. There were no powder burns, nothing. It was just a bullet wound. I was able to determine that he was shot at close range, and it was not a suicide. He could not be buried in a Catholic church when he died because the phony records say that it was a suicide. Long story short, we were able to prove, we had the pathologist come in, he said, no, he was shot at close range. This is not a suicide.
That's crazy.
He was the second police officer killed in Dutchess County whose homicide had never been investigated. To this day, they have not investigated that case to determine who killed that police officer. So there were many things. We even brought in a former state trooper who had committed crimes for the Pagonises in Dutchess County.
It'll take a rest of the show for you to explain. Graham we just did a show like this recently. I'll send you a copy of it. Graham goes all through the minute details of the Tawana Brawley. We did, I don't know how many shows on this, and they even called him to Hollywood about this, him and Clemson, years ago. We tell the truth about what happened in that series. And to an amazement, people still don't know all the injustices that we've unveiled. That's a terrific story, Tawana Brawley. I mean, that's heart-wrenching. That's one of the big upsets of our history, especially with Reverend Sharpton. That brought him to the light, because he was fighting for something just. And our closest friends, some of our closest people, thought it was a fraud. And this poor girl at 15, crossing the road in a small town, and these guys just came from a porn club.
A strip club.
Sitting in the car watching her cross the road and decide to attack her. They took her and raped her for 4 days. It wasn't 4 days she spent like this. And you had to see what happened to that family. I mean, it's heart-wrenching to really tell the true story of Tawana Brawley. I mean, you'll go to tears, man. I'll show it to you, JT. It's something that we should really pay attention to.
Yeah,
and Graham was there investigating everything.
Wow.
And still we got no justice from it. The end results of it, she was sued and she was paying Pagonis money for defamation. And she was a nurse, not a nurse, she worked in a hospital in
she's
Virginia.
a hospital administrator.
Administrator. And she was paying her rapist money for defamation because he was the son of a, what was he? What was
his father was a judge in Dutchess County. Or his father was a judge at the time.
Yeah.
But his attorney presented the medical records from the hospital. There was 103 pages of records with regard to her health condition. If there was nothing wrong with her, how could there be 103 pages? When he began reading, he looked at Pagonis as though, oh, you low down son of a so-and-so.
Yeah.
The women on the jury asked for a recess because they were getting sick from what they were hearing as he read the medical records. She even knew where Stephen Pagonis had spent his Thanksgiving dinner. How would a 15-year-old girl that you quote unquote never met know where you were for your Thanksgiving dinner and who was with you at that dinner?
Yeah.
That she was privy to certain conversations. These guys, as a matter of fact, Harry Christ, the cop that was murdered, he had put his gun to Pagonis's head and threatened to kill him 2 days before he was dead.
Jesus, this is crazy. This is a whole documentary.
It is.
It is.
You should see. We've done video. I've sent you a copy of some of the stuff we did on this with Clemson Brown, who was a videographer up there. But that's not what we're talking about today.
What we
You're
talking about
running
today?
a good one, JT. That's the investigative reporter that you are. See,
I tried to be
you
a
got
little
us
bit.
talking about a jewel. I mean, not a jewel, but a true injustice. I mean, that's a hell of a story. Tawana
Sure.
Brawley, 15 years old. Huh. But we were talking about the
Superstar.
your baby sister here.
Now wait. Now did she tell you what happened this week?
Your baby sister.
You told your girlfriend what happened?
What happened this week?
What, the call you got yesterday? Oh wait, she got a story for you. I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah, I did tell him yesterday, last night.
let her tell Graham the story about what happened yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So I'm in office.
Got someone to do today.
Well, yeah, I'm Rev's engineer, so I set up the radio live stream for him every day in office, and he was on the air, and he get a call from no caller ID, and so he passes the phone to me to tell whoever's on the line that he's on the air, he can't speak right now.
Right.
And you know, I'm just engineer. Rev gets a lot of calls, so I'm just, trying to hurry up and, hey, Rev is on the air. He can't speak right now. And she says, well, you're not gonna ask who's calling? And I said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just engineer. Who's calling me, if I may ask? She says, Kamala Harris. I said,
what?
Oh my God, Kamala Harris. But I had to be quiet. I couldn't be too hyped because Rev is on the air, so I couldn't make too much noise to the point where the people could hear me talking while he's talking. So I had to minimize my excitement. And at the whole time, I'm just shuffling with the phone because he wants me to go get Dominique, but I can't really interpret what he's saying because he can't speak. Actually, because he's on air. So I'm trying to, I don't know. I was just too hyped to even process that Kamala Harris is on the phone talking to me right now. And we was chatting for a little while, and she was asking, we was having a little small talk. She asked what time does the radio show end. I told her he ends at 4 p.m. She said she'll give a call back after the radio show, and that was that. So It was a small moment, but very big win for me that I got to hear
You spoke
Kamala
with
Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
One-on-one.
Yes, one-on-one. That was really a special moment for me.
Oh, wow. That is really something. Talk about
Unexpected. I was not expecting that at all.
Right.
But that's how God gets you. So
There you go.
amen.
Do what's right. He'll put you in the position. She's not going to be the only great one you're going to be talking with. Not at all.
I know.
And
Me being here, I definitely know that.
Growing up as a little boy in East New York, I never thought I would have met and spent time with some of the people I've spent time with, and including Barack Obama. Never would have thought there would have been a black president, but there has been. I've spent time with him, and a lot of other people. So just do what you're doing, because everything is in preparation for what's coming.
Right.
And you have no idea how God is going to position you. You have no idea. even what you're doing now might not be the place where you wind up 10 years from now. But you
That's right.
become a master at what you are doing.
Right.
Graham, these are
Yes.
we're these guys' ancestors.
Well, we are considerably older. Yes.
Jalen's, I'm her ancestor. You got to realize this is my great granddaughter.
I have a great granddaughter too.
Well, I got a 19-year-old great granddaughter right there with Sharpton. And that's my grandson there, JT.
Said you was grandson.
Oh, for sure. That's how it works.
Yep.
Did Kamala call back?
Yeah, she did call him back, but I didn't get a chance to speak to her again. That was it was just one and done for me, but
Yeah.
I ain't stopped thinking about it though, so
No, you
my head I'm still talking to her.
hold on to that. Hold on to that moment. And you're going to be seeing more of her in the future with her book, the things that she's written
Right.
about.
Jalen, I just
back.
want you to see this roll in, and I want you to see yourself at the huddle the other night, because it made me and your Nana quite proud. All right, just run that
Yeah.
roll in. Number 3. You were beautiful, baby. I'm telling
Thank you.
you. You watch
Girl got
this one.
smooth skin, boy. Look at her.
Thank you. You're a little cheater. Well, all of you are saying, especially coming from the eyes and mind of the youth. There has been a change in discipline over the course of years. I grew up old school, so I used to go home, couldn't play the game, couldn't use my phone like that, had to go to sleep at a certain time at night, wake up at a certain time in the morning to get ready for school. Over the years, it has definitely changed drastically, especially with technology being the thing nowadays is popping, and there's a lot of distractions going on, and it limits the youth from being able to focus, especially in terms of education and career base. Parents can definitely do something to discipline their kids better, because sometimes it's nowadays it's less to little to no discipline. So that's not what I like to see, especially, I'm only 19 years old, so these kids be wilding these days. I'm not even gonna lie, they be wilding. And it's definitely a change of attitude that needs to be applied with the youth too. These kids, they gotta be serious about what they want, especially, what we be doing with now in terms of politics. You're not in the best situation in terms of politics right now, so these kids definitely have to be more serious when it comes to what they want, especially the black kids, because we the ones, and it starts with us. It ends with us, and it started with us. So as the youth, we gonna carry the generation, and we have to be more serious about what we want, especially what's going on in the world. And more discipline for the parents, because y'all kids be wild.
Her grandfather is asking a question. Yes, Mr. Winston.
Tell us what you've learned since you've been working in the record shop. What have you learned?
Well, it's not the topic right now.
What's the topic?
I want to say that my journey with men since I've gotten back from school, from my first semester, my first year of college at Delaware State. Delaware State University. I'm a Hornet. And my experience with men, I love it here. That's all I gotta say. I love all of y'all, and I'm just honored to be here. And there's many, many more years and experience to come with me and with my career, because I'm a camera technician, so I've been working with JC behind the scenes. And JC, Supreme Creative Agency. JC is the man. I love him to death, and he's been great. Ashley has been great. Dominique has been great. All of the whole Nan family has just been great to me, and I love y'all. Thank you.
That's what it's about. Jalen started, she used to shoot when she was young, and she left, she came back.
Yeah.
Oh
19.
man.
Crazy.
Old
Yeah.
lady.
Oh, look at that. That's my baby there.
Can't make this stuff
Beverly.
up.
That's our baby.
Can't make this up, man. You can't make that she was gonna. First of all,
You can't make these
when did
things
you
up,
come? You came in
man.
when? You came in
That
summer.
that that
Yeah.
that's so heartwarming to see
I
my
gotta fuck out when I came.
my young adult join our church. See, this is church for me. The Christ-like figure, Martin Luther King, and we're out there marching in the street on Wall Street for this giant of a human, Martin Luther King. We're all disciples of Martin, and we have to that love energy that we need to show. You, Jalen, you bring it all back, man. You show there's hope, and our kids, like,
It's a fact.
Yeah.
I just get emotional about it because it's my kids.
Nah. As you should. I think we unfortunately we spend a lot of time crying based off of detriment, sorrow, and hurt. But when you can cry over the
Yes.
enjoyment of seeing someone prosper in the field that you help designate, is that's something special. So I'm glad that we are able to really understand what we're doing. The biggest thing with this is, like I tell Jay all the time, is understanding it. Like, we can do it. She can do camera work, photography, whatever she wants. But understanding the narrative and the legacy that she holds, even with being in the office with me and Rev, and like all that means something. It all has purpose.
Right.
So I can't wait to
JT,
see
you did
what
a good job, man.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to keep up.
I introduced her to you. I said, "This is my granddaughter's daughter."
Yeah.
You gotta
He
meet
told me
her
about you way
mama.
before you even got there. He told me
You
you was coming.
gotta meet her mother
Yeah.
and her uncle.
Yeah.
These are my
Nah,
other.
she told me, we talk about her family all the time.
All right. So
Yeah.
this is God, man.
Definitely.
That's the only thing
Yeah.
I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We have an opportunity to pass on our energies, all our hard work,
Yep.
and put it into people we love.
Yep.
And
People that love the
that's
work.
everybody.
That's the difference.
You see, my baby sit there. I love everybody, because it's church. God's in this, man.
Yeah.
This is what we as black people got to understand. Who we are.
Yeah.
We're the people that we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Look, we got a leader like Reverend Sharpton. Look at him. He's kicking butt. Man, we went down to Wall Street and raised Cain.
You sure did.
Raised Cain, man. And we're going, and you see with this Kurt thing?
Yeah.
You see with this white on white crime?
Yep.
And what Rev said? Don't take any joy in that.
Mm-hmm.
The man has kids. He has a life. He has an opinion. And let him kill himself. That's what happened. War. That's who needs to pay attention to the love energy that's real.
It's
And
a fact.
they'll come around. We
Fact.
have to preach the love energy that Martin Luther King started. I want to show a piece of the war between Malcolm and Martin, but I think that's a little too heavy for now. But
We'll be back next week. Get us back on next week.
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
You know, but I just like to say I'm proud of what you're doing. I mean, this all comes from you guys. You know,
Thank
this
you.
joy, man, it's powerful. And thank you,
You know what you're
Jalen.
doing, Jalen? You're chronicling history. And Trump is trying to erase history.
Right. Yes.
Once it's in the can, so to say, it can't be erased. You know, whatever's captured by the camera is there for the next 20 generations. It can't be erased. So what you're doing is important. I don't know how to do what you do, but we each have a piece in the puzzle to fulfill this masterpiece of life. So do what you do, be proud of what you do, and then as you move along, you will be teaching somebody else, because we're constantly passing the baton. We have to train people to pass the baton so that the race goes on.
The God in me is the God in you.
There you
Oh,
go. I wonder where you got that from.
From God Himself.
All right. All right. Yes.
ah,
Outstanding.
ah,
Thank you.
man,
For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a
that's
sound
it.
mind. And
That's
if
right.
you think, you behave.
That's
Amen.
it. That's it. Ah, this has been a tough one for me. And my son called me today, Lorenzo. I'm sitting here, and the spirit told him to call me.
Mm.
Lorenzo,
You are.
61 years old, my second son. I'm sitting here in this chair, and he calls me at 3:30. Says the spirit
Mm.
told me to call you. Ha! So God is real, Jalen.
Spirit don't
You
lie.
see what's happened?
Nope.
You see what's happening to us?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're calling,
Mm-hmm.
and we saw it before. And I started to run your. Let me run this. Run number. We got a few minutes. I want to have 5 minutes of your first shoot.
Okay.
Run item 5. Oh, they'll get a kick out of this. Watch JT. JT hasn't seen this.
He stepped out for a minute.
Well, run item 5.
Well, there you go. He want me. He want to show you my first shoot at 10 years old.
No,
Your first shoot?
Yeah. He made it.
You took these pictures?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Where was y'all at?
The next.
What you look like? It's like a man.
you can see that's only part of it. That shows the Egyptian part, and which we're going to lead up into the serious mystery, which is something that we're going to bring to to people. The secrets of the universe, the secrets of the beginnings of mankind. All right? So
Yeah.
I'm showing these secrets to my granddaughter, and there's more to come. And that's just a portion of that piece. It's a 12-minute piece, and she was 10 years old at the time. I just gave her a camera and gave her instructions, and all of that is not, there's no editing in there. That's exactly the way she shot it. And the music just came from the software. I didn't do any of that. I just put it in the machine.
I just want you to know that footage.
The music came from the software.
Well, I just want you to know that footage that you just seen one day is going to be worth millions of dollars. Okay, that's a legend in the making at 10 years old, taking some hard footage of the Met Gala. So by the time, how old are you now? You 19?
Mm-hmm.
I would say by the time she's 39, it's going to be worth millions of dollars. So you better hold on to that.
He will.
Well, that's hers.
I'm gonna hold on to it too.
You gotta see the rest of it, JT, and then we're gonna tell you about the furniture that spoke to us.
Well, the crazy thing is, she's about to. She doesn't know it yet, but her next level is storytelling. So you know how we do all those short films with Rev and all that.
Wait till you hear the story that we've got for you. She didn't tell you the story yet, right? And I'm gonna show you the furniture where the spirit came to us.
First time I met God.
Really?
Yeah.
Hear what she said?
Wow. Sounds like me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Was that in the Met?
Yeah, it was in the Met. It was a.
Okay. We gotta go.
It was a closet, I think. It was a big piece of furniture. It looked like a closet.
Armoire.
Ancient furniture.
14th century, 15th century.
And it just spoke to us. It yelled at us, actually.
No, it was.
Yeah, it sung to us.
And she,
me being a child, I can still feel how it felt today. That's how I know it's real.